Hey, if you are a parent like myself, then you know you don't get sick days, you don't get vacation, ever. It's a full-time job all the time. So it's only natural for parents to become overwhelmed or stressed. The Harvard Gazette found that 63% of parents admitted to getting angry at their kids in the home. And research shows harmful treatment can lead to depression, stress, and long-term mental issues in our kids. That's why it's important to know how to hit the reset button. Joining me now, once again, I have Debbie Reber, CEO and host of Tilt Parenting Podcast. Debbie, it's always good to see you. It's a nutty time of year for families, right? I mean, it's holiday stress, it's end of year finals and exams for kids. How do we hit that emergency reset button, and what does that look like?
Yeah, it is a perfect storm right now, this time of year when schedules are off and break is coming and our own stress is so high. So there's a three-step process to hitting the reset button. First, we need to stop, take a breath, and get regulated. We cannot reset anything if we are still kind of activated in our own stress mode. The second thing we want to do is really empathize with what's going on with our kids and kind of reframe. So if we're frustrated with them about something like, you're not getting off the iPad when I ask you to, we want to reframe and think, this is really hard. They love this game, right? This is hard for them. Yeah. And then the third step is we want to connect and repair with our child. And that's just sitting down and saying, you know what? That did not feel good. I love you. Let's figure out how we can navigate the situation in a way that feels better for both of us.
Yeah, and I think it's one thing to say, my child and I had a really hard day together, or we had a really hard moment. Let's try again and start over tomorrow. What if we've had a really hard year or a really hard long stretch? I mean, do those strategies look different than the in the moment ones?
It's so important that, yes, we want to recognize that we're in a conflict cycle, and I call it accidental parenting. We can find ourselves after months like, oh, we're doing the same conflict over and over again. So we need to just be aware that it's happening and set an intention to change that, and then start making a plan for how am I going to show up to this dynamic differently in the future so we can break the pattern.
And I think, taking self-help initiatives is great. At what point would you suggest families may bring in outside professional guidance to kind of help with some family dynamics going on?
I mean, I think you want to pay attention to what the overall tenor of the family is. So if it's constant conflict and you're noticing that you are really struggling and you see your child is struggling and starting to really harm your relationship with your child, that's when I would want to seek more professional help.
Yeah. It's just part of parenting, no matter what stage you're in, too, right? Whether you're in the teenager years, toddlers. Me, I have a 6-month-old at home, so I'm still in the newborn phase. You climb into bed at the end of the day, you're exhausted, and you're so thankful for them, but you're like, okay, how am I going to do all of this again tomorrow? Debbie, I'm just curious, mom to mom here, when you lay your head down at the end of the day, how do you kind of reset for the next day ahead and all the new challenges that it could bring?
Yeah, and I have a 20-year-old, and I'm still doing this
that,
work.
Yeah.
And my best strategy is I think about a bright spot every night before I go to bed. So no matter what is going on and what's happened that day or what's been going on for weeks or months, I think about what is one thing that is an area of growth or an area of connection or a special thing that happened between me and my child. And that really helps kind of wipe the slate clean. Also, I'll just say a good song always helps to reset. Right now, Shake It Off by Taylor Swift. I literally shake it out, and it's a great way to reset.
And start over. Was she your top, Spotify Wrapped artist and song of the year?
Of the year, absolutely.
Well, it's constant, isn't it? Motherhood, parenthood, it's every day. And it's restarting anew each morning. Debbie Reber, always a pleasure to have you. Thank you, and happy holidays. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.